What's up, guys?
What's going on? We back again. Episode number 5. Yeah, we moving and moving and moving. We only on
Yes.
5, but we climbing up. We trying to get as many done as possible.
Absolutely. At least 2 a week, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Every 6 days now.
I mean,
we trying.
It's
Busy work week.
absolutely. When you got other things going on, it's hard to cater to just one thing. So, we try to make space, availability, and try to get it done the way we can get it done.
Absolutely.
If it was up to us, if we could do episodes every day. But fortunately, we can't do that. So we just gotta take it how we get it.
Absolutely. So we're gonna be talking about, is cheating the cause of domestic violence?
Yeah, that's
And that's our first question as well.
Man, that's a great topic. We could go into it. You said that's the first question?
Absolutely. That's our topic and our first question.
Yeah, no. I think it plays a part, on both sides when you deal with men and women. Cheating can lead to, violence. When emotions and feelings get involved, yeah, definitely, I believe it's a yes and a no. Some relationships do end off of other things besides cheating. Sometimes it's financial problems. Sometimes people just don't see eye to eye and they feel like, hey, this ain't for us. It could be minor things, it could be things major, but I definitely think that cheating, for the most part, plays a big factor in that, but not the whole factor in every relationship.
Right. So it's like different things that goes on,
Absolutely.
like you said, different topics. It could be communication. It can be financially,
Sometimes people just get they just get burnt out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, every relationship is different. Every relationship is structured different. You kind of can't take what goes on in one relationship and use it in another relationship, because everybody wants and needs is totally different. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So, but for the most part, I think cheating does result in violence on both ends. When you see people end up in like brutal violence as far as get killed and stuff like that, sometimes it's always going to jail. Absolutely, it's always like
walked away, whatever.
a mistress or a mister on the side or something like that. So definitely
both ways.
Yeah, it does play a part.
That's right. Yeah. Do you think cheating comes from house problems? And we just was talking about that as well. It can be frustration.
I mean, I really think like I can't really speak for females, but I can speak for males, and sometimes house problems can be, and it cannot be. You know what I mean? Sometimes with men it just be temptation, lust, and sometimes they can have the perfect woman at home and still go out there and still mess around. You know what I mean? So I don't think that plays the whole factor. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it does, because sometimes you might feel like a woman ain't giving you, or you might want certain things from a woman at home that you live with, and you might feel like she doesn't want to go above and beyond to satisfy you, and then you kind of look elsewhere for other things.
Right.
You know what I mean? But not all the time, because like I said, some people have, they had a perfect woman at home, and at the end of the day, temptation, and that's how men are. You know what I'm saying? Men make a lot of messed up, wrong decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They think backwards sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's really about temptation. They might see something that they like and they feel like they can get it. You know what I mean?
They
And
gonna go ahead and get it.
and they just do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just to do it. So I think
And
that's
I
like
think
a
females like that as well.
I mean, I can't speak for females. 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain that, but I mean, I know how men do.
Right. And you know, this time of day, you know, you got females out here that kind of got so tired of men cheating to the point now you got females doing what men do, you know. They gonna run the streets, they gonna do what you do, they gonna keep it moving, you know. So now it's like it's an equal thing to me, because just what a man can do, a female can do as well. You know, you got females out here that will be down with a man if it's cheating, or even if it's not cheating. You could just be single and meet a female. Hey, she might just want one thing, you know. So it don't have to be all about cheating. It could just be the person you is and what you've been through, and how we go.
Right, absolutely.
Basically,
I definitely agree with you, especially on the how men do females, and now and today we got females that
do the same
thing that men do. You know what I'm saying? That comes from us. You know what I'm saying? When I say
kings,
us men,
kings, supposed to be kings.
We but I mean, like, I really don't think. I mean, like, a king is a king. You know what I'm saying? And
And a
kings,
queen is a queen.
and kings make mistakes.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? So that I think that stems from us doing females. You know, how it's almost like this. A man can cheat, and it's like a norm. But when a female does it, it's like out of the ordinary, because people think, females ain't supposed to cheat. But at the end of the day, everybody has a boiling point, and it gets to a point where, if she continue to stay with that man that's continuously cheating on her, then she's stupid. So it's either being stupid or being a hoe. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lose-lose situation. So, they just look at it like, hey, man, men been dogging us for so long, so now, it's time to get them back.
Where, at the end of the day, I'm a female, and sometimes I mean, if I could talk to a whole bunch of females, I would tell them, hey, just don't get back, because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself. Me personally, there's so many diseases out here. I couldn't do nothing like that, and I wish my queens would be out there doing the same. I know you could be hurt about certain things, or whatever the case may be that's going on in your household or even in your relationship, and I just feel like, hey, you can do bad by yourself. Again, like females think now, they'll leave the guy and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I do. When I want it, I'm gonna get it, and that's what it's gonna be. But then you get a lot of females out here that go left, and that's not good either, because as they say, what goes around comes around.
Facts. That's facts.
Okay, once a relationship get violent, should both parties separate or try to work it out?
That's another question. That's a yes and no. It's not really excuse me. It's not really an answer to that, because at the end of the day, especially when you have kids involved, you don't just want to especially if you've been with somebody for years on years on years, you try to work it out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of relationships do tend to have violence involved, especially when, like, we talk about cheating and situations like that. They will get violent, but it shouldn't get to the point where you're thinking about killing somebody or harming somebody. I think that's when the relationship should be, thought about. It's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes
But
it get
it's
physical.
feelings,
Absolutely. Sometimes it get physical.
especially
You know what I'm
when
saying?
you lie
And
to.
I mean like physical as far as pushing and shoving, maybe a little, punches being thrown and stuff like that. But once it goes beyond that,
Yeah.
I really think that the relationship needs to be either talked about and saying that we won't go that far no more, because you never know what can happen.
That's
And
true.
sometimes a situation can be so the magnitude of it could be so high that sometimes a lot of people don't think about what they doing. They just go off feelings and emotions,
Right.
and that's how a lot of people get hurt or murders and stuff like that, because once it happened, you probably saying to yourself like, I shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? But at that moment, you just going off of emotions and feelings, and it's like you numb to the situation. So I definitely think like when it gets to that point, it needs to be either talked about, or if it can't be talked about, then it's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
You know what I'm saying? Because I really think like, it's not worth taking somebody's life, and it's definitely not worth spending your life in jail for harming somebody or whatever the case may be.
Right. So the other day, remember, babe, we was looking at we looked at two.
Absolutely.
I think you want to talk about the basketball one.
Yeah, the basketball. Lorenzen Wright. He was an NBA player. He played I think he played 13 years in the NBA. And like we was talking about, he had a very excessive cheating problem. And I mean, like,
he was a good guy.
I mean, like, I don't think, I don't want to say this wrong, but I don't think sometimes when you have people of that magnitude, as far as celebrities and people of that caliber, like, they are so much of icons where they get stuff, it's easy for them.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
And it goes for women too.
It goes for women too.
It goes
Absolutely.
for women too. So
Absolutely.
you can't just say men.
Absolutely. So I'm just speaking on him.
No, yeah, I know
Yeah,
what
I'm
you're
speaking
saying,
on
but
him.
I just always want to bring that in. I don't want to. Yeah. Sorry.
Absolutely. So he kind of has he had a excessive cheating problem, and I really think he tried to work it out with his wife. It didn't work, and he moved back to Memphis, which was actually his hometown, and he came home one day and got murdered, and come to find out she had something to do with getting him murdered. So you kind of ask yourself like, was she at her boiling point? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes even in relationships, you can love a person so much, and you can have so much feelings for him or her. You know what I'm saying? Where even if you say, all right, I think this relationship not working out, we should go our separate ways, both parties, you might be happy with it, but the other person might not be happy with it, and they don't want to see you in a relationship with somebody else. So that can be just as hurting to that person. You feel what I'm saying? So they feel, they have the motive. Well, the motive is, if I can't have them, then nobody will. So it can be one of them situations too.
Yeah, but I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like if a person sit down and tell that person that you don't want to be with them, and that person, however long y'all been together, and y'all sit down and y'all talk like y'all supposed to, and say, hey, this is not going to work out. We need to go ahead and move our separate ways. Hey, we both going to be a little bit upset about separating, whoever it is. But hey, I think it's best to talk it out and say you don't want to be with that person, then keep cheating, and that goes for both parties, or keep cheating on a person and still trying to be in that person's life, or giving them that dream that you want to be with them because you feel like you don't want to hurt their feelings. And that's how I feel that people go out the box. It's a lot of domestic violence killings, and I think that's where people get it misunderstood, where you can leave if you leave on a good note. If you've been with a person for a long time and you say, hey, this is not going to work out, I think we should separate, and I don't want to beef with you, whatever the case may be. I think that'll be a plus. But when you come and that person know, or that guy know, hey, you've been out here doing this, and you still want to, it's just certain levels on it when it comes to that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just to piggyback off what you said. Sometimes what I was trying to say is, sometimes in a relationship, right? If you sit down and you say, look, it's not working, we're having too many problems, we just can't get along, let's separate, and you go your way, I go my way. Everybody agree with that, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next person, once the relationship is separated, it's like, okay, in your mind, you might think that, hey, this person is by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm separated, you separated.
Mm-hmm.
You by yourself, I'm by myself. But what if I have a problem with finding somebody else? But you done moved on, you in a new relationship, you happy, you doing good,
mm-hmm.
you satisfied. I might not like that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
The feelings sometimes can you know what I'm saying? Because you probably thinking like this person is separating from you to be by themselves, not to be with somebody else.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes people can't take that part where you moving on, you have somebody else, you happy, you got a new life going. But me, I might be frustrated, I can't find nobody, so I might want to intervene into your happiness because you happy and I'm not.
Right.
So sometimes that can be an issue too.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. And hopefully people will realize if that ever happened, hey, just move on. In this time, in 2020, in 2000, this generation, hey, it's somebody out there for everybody. So just don't get, if a person want to move on, let them move on. We're going to go to the next question. Okay. Oh, do you think women, what's this? Hold on. Oh, do you think women inflict men into domestic violence?
I think any woman can, you know what I'm saying? Because
Our mouth.
well, yeah, when you're dealing with the heat of a verbal argument with a woman, she know how to hit you in certain places where you know she hits you with low blows. You know what I mean? And as us as men, sometimes we don't know how to handle that. So we use our aggression on them. Sometimes we do put our hands on them. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think women do afflict on that note. You know what I mean? But we gotta learn how to be better. You know what I'm saying? As far as ignoring them, because I mean, if you can ignore a woman, eventually she'll be quiet because you're not gonna be there in verbal combat. So I just think we can do better on that note. But they definitely do inflict sometimes men putting their hands on them.
And as well as men.
That's true.
Men as well. Men can start it up as well. They can say the wrong thing to you or do the wrong thing to you, and that's,
Yeah, but I mean, we might do it, but we won't inflict them. Sometimes we don't inflict the violence.
That's not a fact. You can't say, just say some.
Well, some.
Yeah,
sometimes, absolutely.
Some.
Because I mean, it can go.
Because you do have men that's woman beaters out here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just about to say, like, it's one of them things where it doesn't matter. Especially like when it comes to like cheating and stuff like that, it's easy to chew but hard to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it's like, you can deal with yourself cheating, but can you deal with the other party cheating on you?
Right.
You know, so that's something that a lot of men cannot deal with. You know what I'm saying? They can sit there and cheat, but can they deal with the fact when a woman go out there and cheat, can they handle that? And 9 times out of 10, a man will go ballistic when he knows that his wife or his girlfriend or whoever he's dealing with is cheating on him.
Right, right.
But at the end of the day, on that note right there, that's still a woman inflicting it, so that's still inflicting it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna keep saying a man too, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it can go both ways.
It can go both ways. It can go both ways. It really can. It can go both ways. And then it was a football player too, right?
Yeah, Steve McNair.
McNair, yeah,
Steve
McNair, yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people heard about
He was
his
the
situation.
football player, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the football player. He played
Yeah.
for the Tennessee Titans, and his situation was different because he had a wife, he had a mistress, and then he had another girl that he was dealing with, and the mistress killed him and then killed herself. And not because he was dealing with his wife, because he had another mistress on the side. So he had 2 mistresses and a wife. You know what I mean? So the mistress killed him because his first mistress, number 1, killed him because he was messing with mistress number 2. And then she shot him 4 times and then killed herself.
Wow.
So, and I think, so that was what I was saying before. That's one of them situations where if I can't have you, then nobody can.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? She was so, you know, because I think they had like a long-term relationship as far as her being a side piece.
And the wife didn't even know.
And, you know, he had a wife and then he had her. And then once the mistress found out he wasn't going to leave his wife, and then on top of that, he had another mistress, it was to the point where, you know what, if I can't have you to myself, then nobody will. So I'm going to take your life and I'm going to take my life. And it was crazy because they said the way she shot him she shot him to the point where when she died, she would land on his lap.
Yep.
So that's how crazy that situation was.
Right, right. And you know, us women, you know, we very soft, you know, and we get into our feelings. I mean, women, a man can go out there and do what they do and really don't catch as much, like really feelings for that person. But a woman, as soon as a woman and the man, or whatever the case may be, feelings all over the place.
Right.
Feelings all, oh, you my man, even if they know what's going on with you. They fighting? Oh, I'm sorry, we looking at basketball. So you get what I'm saying? So women just, you know, we just be all over the place, like, oh, he love me, he's gonna do this for me, hey, let me tell y'all something, we gotta get stronger. And again, that don't mean you go out there and you disrespect yourself. Remember, what God gave you as a present, that's how we birth our kids. That's how we bring life into the world. You can't let every man, just because something went wrong with you, to put in you just because. This is your present, your life. This is how you live. If you want to have more kids, you can't have this interrupted, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah, I guess you looking at me like, okay, that's enough.
Nah, you good.
Oh, okay.
You good.
This is a good one. Do you think drugs and alcohol plays a part in domestic violence?
I don't think that it's the total. How can I say this? I don't think that I wouldn't blame drugs and alcohol, but I can say this: if you're dealing with a situation and you know you high or you intoxicated, it increases the magnitude of the situation. You know what I mean? So it's one of them things where if you probably sober, you wouldn't go as overboard as you would if you're drugged up or you're you're intoxicated or whatever you are, you know what I'm saying, it adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't sit here and say, you know, we ain't gonna sit here and just blame drugs and alcohol and say that's the reason. But I definitely think when it comes to situations, and I think that's any situation you're dealing with, anything in life. If it's
going to
alcohol,
a party or whatever,
if it's alcohol, or it's just like if you, like you said, if you in a club and somebody step on your shoe, if you sober, you probably will be like, oh, don't worry about it, it's not that serious. But you know, if there's alcohol involved and you know you kind of over the limit, it becomes a big problem. You know what I mean? You could take something small and make it something big. So I just think, like, you know, with the domestic violence thing, it's just that if a person is intoxicated or any type of way under the influence of any type of drugs or anything, it just makes it just increases the magnitude. It makes it that much drastic where sometimes people be so lit that they don't know what they're doing sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's like having your blood pressure rise. You're already mad about the situation, so then you add that to the equation. So now it's like you want 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. So with the Bobby and Whitney, when Bobby and Whitney was together, they had a lot of drugs and alcohol involved in their relationship.
Absolutely.
And do you think that had a part of Whitney Houston, like, you know, even though I know they were separated and Bobby had a new life, he got married, you know, do you think that was like a part of her drug addiction that...
You mean like towards the end? It could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows. You know what I mean? That's just that's something that we can assume was what's going on. You know what I mean? But you know, it could have been, it could not have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So do you think in that relationship, because I remember when Whitney, well, I know I used to love Whitney when I was in school. I forgot that song we used to dance off in school. But she wasn't doing drugs at that time. And then it seemed like when she met Bobby, and again, I'm taking up for us women, when she met Bobby, it seemed like her whole, like everything changed about her. She started coming on stage. You saw her, she was already skinny. She started losing more weight. She was drunk sometimes, like she was high. I think she was smoking weed as well, correct?
Yeah, but I think...
So what I was trying to get to is that sometimes you being in a relationship with a man can change you to something that you don't want to be. And that goes for a man as well. You know, sometimes a woman can change a man to where that's not even what that man does. You know what I'm saying?
As far as the drug addiction, excuse me, I don't know who started first. That's something that only them two know.
Yeah, but you do know before she met Bobby that she was not doing drugs.
Well, Bobby Brown, from his perspective, Whitney Houston is the one that introduced him to
That's
cocaine.
True.
That's what he said. You know what I mean? But we don't know. Only they know.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
true.
I just think that, to be honest, for their relationship, I think when drugs got involved, it was bad for both of them. You know what I'm saying? You just seen, because Bobby Brown, when he met Whitney, he was at the top of his game. You know what I mean? He had My Prerogative.
Yeah.
He just broke up with New Edition. His solo albums was going crazy. He was a top icon.
Yeah, but he was doing
R&B.
drugs when he was with New Edition. That's why they broke up.
That's what they said that's what they had in the documentary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to believe. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I just think with them two, I just think that they was bad for each other. When it came, not their relationship, but once drugs got involved, their relationship was bad for each other, and they both pulled each other down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We seen them both decline
Yeah.
because they both was like at the top of their game
They
when
was.
they met. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So when they got together, it was like, you know, you just seen parts of them that you never thought that was a part of their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and it just continued and continued to keep going and going and get worse and worse. And so I just think that they both was bad for each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a drug note.
On a drug note.
Not on a, I mean, relationship wise, I think that they was good, but once once drugs became in a relationship and that became the top priority, we just seen them like decline drastically.
Yeah. Yeah. How can we? Excuse me. How can people prevent cheating and domestic violence?
Prevent cheating
And domestic violence. Yes.
I mean, with cheating, I'm pretty sure people in relationships, I think they try to prevent cheating. I mean, every time it happens, you know what I mean? All you can do is try to be the best person you can for your spouse or whoever you with, and try to improve and make things better. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep the relationship going, and I mean, that's all you really can do on that note. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people always, I don't think cheating is something that's going to completely stop. You know what I mean? Especially, and I'm not blaming the women, but especially how you got women out here acting like men now. So, you know what I mean? It's almost like, you got both sides where the women is doing stuff that men would do. You know what I mean? So, but with the domestic violence, I think, I just think it's not worth it. I don't think nobody should be, if the relationship is just that toxic and you feel like it's not going to work itself out, you know what I mean? It's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you're going to argue, you're going to have disagreements and stuff like that. That's a norm. But even if it get physical, to, not saying I'm telling people that they need to get physical, but if it get, a little pushy and shovey and stuff like that, you can try to work on making that better. But if it goes above and beyond that point right there, then I think the relationship needs to be dismissed.
Absolutely.
And moved on, because I don't think that, your life is way more, everybody's life should be way more important than, trying to put somebody 6 feet and then you spending the rest of your life in jail.
Right.
I think life is more precious than that.
Right. But, and I'm not taking up for people that do kill, just like the basketball player. I feel really bad for her. She seemed like she was a sweet girl, really, really pretty woman. She was hurt. Again, she shouldn't have did what she did. But, sometimes, and again, you're not a woman. So you'll never feel what a woman would feel. But I know us women, and then you got some women out here, and again, I'm not better than nobody, or I'm not talking about this woman better than that woman, but you got some women out here that go over and beyond for their family. And then you got some women out here that just do what they do. But it seems like it's always the women that goes over and beyond, that's not out there running the streets, and they're the ones that's getting hurt, and they're the ones who's getting lied to. Why is that happening to women like that? It's because the women out there that's running like Ben, or really don't care because they doing the same thing they man doing, they good. Hey, they gonna say, all right, you could go. That's where you see, when you see single people, and if you see single people by themselves, because them two didn't care, because they was doing what they was doing, and that person was doing what they doing. But when you got a good person, a good girlfriend, or a good wife, or even if you start dating someone and you see that they doing this, it hurts.
Absolutely, it does hurt.
So some people, some people take it as in, like you said, you should never want to take somebody's life. But again, the state of mind, just like, and not bringing it up, but just like if you on the block and you making money, and you know somebody stole your stash, and that was your last 50,000 or your last 10,000, you going for it. So a man has had.
So again, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I didn't cut you off, but like you said, you compared it to being on the block, right?
I'm just saying.
No.
You didn't let me.
You compared it. You said if somebody take your stash, your last $10,000, you'll be ready to, you'll be ready to handle them.
Right.
But when you do handle them, and if it comes to that point and you get arrested and you get sentenced, in the back of your mind you're gonna say, is it worth it?
Right.
Was that 10,000 worth taking this dude's life when now I probably gotta do 25 to life in jail?
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to piggyback off what you said before about the cheating thing, like I said, people make dumb decisions,
Yeah.
especially men. Like I said, sometimes a man can have a woman at home, he can have everything he have, but at the end of the day, sometimes temptation get the best of him. It's just like, I'm gonna take it to this. It's just like you can have a pocket full of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have a whole pocket full of money, and say you see $100. You ain't never been a thief in your life. You ain't never stole nothing, and you see somebody drop $100. It's a chance you might pick that $100 up and don't say nothing to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? And you never been a thief a day in your life.
Right.
So sometimes temptation is what gets people. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not about, sometimes it's just a thing where it's no feelings involved.
Right, but women feel that sometimes as well.
Absolutely.
But women, if you got you a good woman, or I'm not saying you got to be, let's say this. If it's a good woman out there, or a good girlfriend, or a good whoever that man is trying to deal with, right? And hey, y'all, them people might be feeling each other, hey. But I'm gonna speak for myself. I would respect a man if he don't ask me for nothing. If he don't want nothing from me. Because me personally, you're not just gonna get it like that. You're not just gonna, hey, we talking or we doing this and now, oh, you all up in me. No, it don't go that way, because if you up in me, you don't did it to somebody else. Period. So I'm the type of person where I try to protect myself, my feelings, especially now that, I have kids. I got to teach them, hey, this is not how you do things, and we teach our son that as well, and my daughter as well.
Absolutely.
So, it's just crazy. And like, we got to, and the reason why we did this topic is because we kind of want to, stop the violence, please, especially around the kids and the domestic violence, around the kids, and and like he said, you don't want to go to jail for the rest of your life just because this person cheated on you or this woman cheated on you. What you do is you walk away. Y'all talk about it. Hey, we done with it. You go your way and I go my way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Nah. I'm kind of. You got any more questions? No.
No. I think we talked about everything. I love your feedback on everything.
Appreciate it.
I just think that again, like you said, you know what I'm saying, it go both ways. That's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Both ways.
It's not something that it's just a particular person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's everybody.
It's just
not everybody goes through that. Everybody don't go through that. But even if we got any little kids.
You talk about when you talk about the majority of the people that do go through it. I mean, like, I see everybody done dealt with some type of situation
Yeah.
like that. You feel what I'm saying? So, but like I said, it's just, you know, everybody do it for a different reason. It's like it's crazy to say, but you have different levels of cheating. You feel what I'm saying? You have different levels, and some people, and even some people is addicted to it. You feel what I'm saying? Some people just do it because they feel like they can get over and they can kind of keep doing it over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? So,
but them are the ones, and it's the honest God truth. Them are the ones that either end up 6 feet under, or somebody went to jail for the rest of their life.